If any of you have seen anything about WWE this week, you know that a huge press conference took place this past Thursday, which was dubbed, the WrestleMania 40 kickoff. And holy crap, we have to talk about it. With everything going on, implications for the future. We're going to dive into that, plus the week that was for the shows. We'll look at Vengeance Day, all that went on, and the betrayal of the year, which might lead to, my opinion, the feud of the year. We'll get into that and more. This, my friends, is the review preview of the week. As mentioned, WrestleMania had a kickoff event in Vegas during Super Bowl week to promote WrestleMania 40 and a storyline for Cody to make his decision about who he's going to choose to face at WrestleMania. For those who don't know, Cody Rhodes is the Royal Rumble winner, and the Royal Rumble winner gets to decide between which world title he goes for at WrestleMania. The current champions are your WWE champion Roman Reigns and your World Heavyweight champion Seth Rollins. So leading up to this, Cody kind of made it pretty clear he was going to challenge Roman. That was until last week, depending on when this comes out, on SmackDown, when Cody came out and stated, I'm going to beat you, Roman, eventually, but not right now. I took counsel, and one of the people he took counsel from was The Rock, who came out, and the episode of SmackDown ended with Rock and Roman staring down, kind of not saying a word, and it led to people thinking that The Rock inserted himself into the main event of the WrestleMania, and where does that leave Cody? Does he go challenge for Seth and all that kind of stuff? And led to a social media outcry for hashtag We Want Cody, Rocky sucks, yada yada yada. Well, we get to Thursday, and then they show the press conference features other people. Triple H came out, Bianca Belair was shown, which was weird since the other Rumble winner Bayley and Io was not even mentioned at all. But Star Power, Rhea Ripley came out, Becky Lynch got in her face, so again setting that up for Mania. Should Becky win the Chamber match? We don't know, but at this point it's probably foregone conclusion. We'll see. But then we get to almost the main event of the press conference is Seth Rollins comes out and it's time for Cody to make his choice, and he says, here comes the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Instead, Roman Reigns comes out and says Cody lost his right to choose, and Roman Reigns chooses to face The Rock at WrestleMania. This brings out The Rock, and The Rock takes the boos and the cheers and the divided crowd and said, all you Cody crybabies can be mad about it, but this is the biggest box office, and which leads Rock to pulling up a graphic of the family tree, which holy crap is huge. So many people and so many cool wrestlers on there, and they then The Rock and Roman do the the UFC boxing pose for the cameras. This brings out Cody, who says this is bullshit, and Cody makes his choice, choosing to face Roman Reigns, the WWE champion, in a main event at WrestleMania. And then Cody tells Roman, you've invoked my dad's name so many times, it's my turn, basically. And Cody says, Roman, if your grandfather was around, The Rock, if your grandfather was around, they'd both be ashamed of you, which prompted The Rock to get involved, saying, when you talk about pointing at Roman, we talk about his family, talk about mine, and then just smacks the absolute taste out Cody's mouth, which nearly incites a brawl. And backstage, Triple H is shown doing an interview, talking about, I got get some order around here, what's going on. And you see Rock and Roman walking by. Rock's fix this, is this how you run something? Fix this or I'll fix it. Drops the F-bomb in there, which was cut off obviously by the broadcast, but it was picked up in the arena. And Triple H's oh yeah, get out of here. So that was basically how the conference ended. But yeah, we got a answer, and that Cody's going to face Roman, made official by Triple H 10-15 minutes after the event, something like that. But it did leave some more questions. Like, first of all, what does The Rock do in this now? Essentially, he's no longer in the main event. Does he start coming after Cody? Because we saw Rock turn heel for all intents and purposes. Heel means bad guy, if you don't know. Rock turned heel in that press conference, but when he did, it wasn't what people were used to. Because if you weren't watching back in 2003, The Rock had called a Hollywood Rock gimmick, which he knew he was a movie star. He acted like a diva movie star and all that, and it was beloved. My favorite, definitely interesting music of The Rock. One of my favorite characters of all time. But this one was different. This wasn't like Hollywood Rock where he knows he's better than you. This was a more stoic heel Rock, like protector Rock slash board member executing their authority. If you don't know, Rock is now a board member of the parent company of WWE. It was something like that. It was more mean demeanor and all that kind of stuff, and that's The Rock we'll probably get going forward. How this plays into Mania on the road to, we'll see. Does he get involved with Cody, fighting him, promo battles, the way Triple H kind of got into there? Do they get involved? And where does this leave Seth about everything? Because yeah, he was there, but he kind of just wasn't. He was kind of the odd man out towards the end. So I don't know. This press conference got everyone talking. There are reports out there saying it wasn't a pivot. This is a plan all along. I don't know if I fully believe that. I want to give WWE benefit of doubt because a lot of times they are smarter than the average fan like me. Or, I mean, I guess I'm not an average fan. I'm sitting here making a video about damn wrestling. I'm a super fan. I'm a lifer. I'm a intense fan, I guess, for lack of a better term. But yeah, a lot of times they outsmart all of us about this. I want to give them the benefit of doubt, but who knows? There are also reports out there that The Rock, everybody was expecting The Rock to be cheered about this. He wasn't. So they're pivoting, all that kind of stuff. We'll see. But as far as Seth goes, nothing was answered about his future in the conference. We'll get to that later. But when that conference ended on Thursday, people were like, why the hell was Seth there in the first place? Which is valid. But, him getting involved, it could set up Cody Seth mutual beneficiary tandem for a little bit. I don't know. Either way, it got more people talking. When The Rock slapped the taste out of Cody's mouth, that was played, I think, eventually WWE said 100 million times on socials within 12 hours, records. I don't know. Those numbers, you can skew numbers to make them seem however you want to. So again, the conference was electric. It was just at over an hour, so they kept it brief and it got people talking, and they went into Super Bowl week and was able to garner attention. Even if it's just for an hour, they were able to garner a lot of the media attention. So kudos to them for doing that. But it was, if you watched it live, it was awesome. To steal The Rock's word, electric. Okay, I stole his word. All right, I stole his word. Sue me. But right now, let's go over the week that was. We'll start with Raw because it's on Monday. First of the week makes sense. Rollins, Cody, and Drew open up the show. Drew tells Cody to finish his story and go after Roman, so that way Drew can go after Rollins and take the title off the Rollins and be the champ that people deserve. This leads to Drew attacking Rollins and Cody sending Drew off, like kick him out of the ring, that thing. There was a fatal 4-way of tag teams, the winner fighting Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne on SmackDown later in the week. The winner of that gets to face Judgment Day for the tag titles at Elimination Chamber, and that match was won by DIY, setting up a awesome tag match on paper. DIY versus Bait and Dunn, four of like NXT's greatest workers, arguably. So looking forward to that. Becky Lynch beat Shayna Baszler to qualify for said Elimination Chamber match, which now, I said Becky interrupted Rhea earlier, beginning of the show, and now makes sense why, because Becky's already part of the Elimination Chamber. Should Becky win the Elimination Chamber match, she will get to face Rhea Ripley at the Chamber. Speaking of Rhea, Adam Pearce makes Nia Jax and Rhea Ripley official for the WWE World's Women's Title at Elimination Chamber, which is cool because I know Rhea's, I believe both of them are from Australia or the area, so a homecoming for both. It'll be a fun match, and Nia is someone who I'm still not the biggest fan of, but I can admit that has gotten better in the second run with the company, so it'll be a good match. At least it'll be like two hard-hitting women just beating the holy hell out of each other for 10-15 minutes, so we'll get to see that. R-Truth just continues to be hilarious and one of the best things going in the whole company. Gunther had a celebration for 600 days as Intercontinental Champion, which was interrupted by Jey Uso, and then eventually New Day, which sets up a six-man tag next week. But I'm curious to see if this is setting up as Jey Uso as the next person to vie for the IC title. Cody beat Shinsuke Nakamura in the main event in a bullroom match, in a match that I thought was going to be better than what match I thought was better than it was going to be. But after that, Drew McIntyre comes out, attacks Cody, and that's how Raw ends this week. All right, I'm gonna go into NXT because for this portion, I'm going to talk about Vengeance Day. Then we'll go over that, the PLE for NXT, and then talk about the episode that was. Try to be as brief as possible because I know it's gonna be kind of long, but still, deal with it. NXT had Vengeance Day, which was their kind of like PLE pay-per-view, just for that brand, since they're kind of like they're not the third brand, they're more like the developmental league where the stars of tomorrow, battle today. The opening match saw the Wolf Dogs, which was Braun Breaker, Baron Corbin, beating Trick Mello Gang in the finals of the Dusty Cup, the Dusty Rose Classic Cup, which is a tag team tournament if you don't know. There was the right winners, even if it was kind of predictable given what's going on later in the night. We'll get to that. What was surprising to me is at the end of the match, Braun was getting ready to spear Trick Williams to win, but Mello made the save and took the spear for him, and which led to the 1-2-3. I thought it was going to go a different way, to which Mello was going to let Trick lose, like get pinned, and then feign helping, but not really. And it was beautifully done. It was a good match. If four people that can go, Baron Corbin, Braun Breaker, Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, four people that can go in the ring, could deliver a good match. It was a hot opener. Again, the right team won. Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin could do more with this. And it set up the heartache of losing. It set up later in the night because Mel's like, oh Trick, I know you gotta do your thing later by yourself. Trick was like, nah man, I need you there. So Trick wanted Mello by his side for the upcoming NXT title match in the main event. Next we have Dijak beating Joe Gacy in a no DQ match. This one went completely different than what I thought was going to happen. In the preview for it, I thought Gacy was going to like just get destroyed. I mean, I thought like Dijak was going to just get as close to murder as you could on national TV. I thought it was going to be one-sided, and I thought it was going to set Dijak up as like a super badass monster contender for the NXT title. Now Dijak still won, but Gacy got in a lot more offense, including a fun slash cool spot where Gacy took like little toys, like little cars and stuff, and spread them out on a table, then put Dijak through it. But again, Dijak won, and I do think this sets him up as a contender for a title for the current champion Ilya Dragunov to go forward, should he retain in the main event. Next, we have the family, which is Tony D'Angelo, Stax, and Adriana Rizzo, beating OTM out the mud, which is a bunch of Lucent Price, Jada Parker, and the other person I can't name, in a 6-person tag. This match wasn't offensive, but it had no business being on PLE. It should have been on just a regular old episode of NXT. I got nothing much more to say about it. It was me. Lyra Valkyria was beat Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's title, and included Lola Vice, who for some reason cashed in her NXT Breakout tournament contract, which guaranteed her a title shot at any point. Cashed it in the middle of the match, which made no sense. It really should have been done after the match, treated like a Money in the Bank, to where after the match both competitors are exhausted, and then you come in and just whoop ass and get the title. But no, she cashed in mid-match for some reason. Lyra Valkyria, the champ's stalker, for lack of a better term, Tatum Paxley, got involved, took out Roxanne, which let Lyra pin Lola Vice to retain the title. It was a good, honestly, Roxanne Lyra was good. I thought that had that match stayed those two, it would have been better. But for me personally, I can't get over the booking. It doesn't make sense for Lola. She was like a complete dumbass doing what she did. And I know after the match, Lola and Roxanne were fighting, battling. So look for that feud to continue. Lyra is still going to be dealing with her stalker, Tatum, and finding a new challenger, whoever that may be. But yeah, the match gets a downgrade for me just because of the booking part. But other than that, it was actually pretty good. Lyra and Roxanne can both go in the ring. So Oba Femi defeats Dragon Lee to retain the North American title, and you could tell Oba has it. It's whatever it is. Raw charisma, moves, athleticism, has a moveset that's coming along, but you can also tell he's a rookie. Like in a sense that hasn't been doing this a while. I thought Dragon Lee absolutely carried this match, which is not a bad thing at all. It wasn't a bad match. I enjoyed this, but you could tell Dragon Lee was helping Oba along, which again, this is NXT. This is where you're supposed to learn. This is where you're supposed to get better. Oba is going to be a star in the making, but this was Dragon Lee's match. And with Oba's win, I have no idea where it goes. A new challenger has to step up soon, and Dragon Lee's probably going back to SmackDown because he was pulling double-ish duty as a SmackDown competitor and a North American champion. So look for him to go back to SmackDown and do something. All right, and in the main event, we have Ilya Dragunov beating Trick Williams to retain the NXT title. And I thought, oh my goodness, if you didn't think Trick Williams could go before this, you are wrong. Trick proved that he belongs in the main event. He proved that he deserves to be up there for a while. It has a lot. Ilya helps, don't get me wrong. Ilya is one of those people who is probably incapable of having a bad match. He just can work with anyone, make him look good, make all of his moves look devastating no matter the opponent. But Trick showed that, he can hold his own. He can hang with Ilyas, he can hang with the other people and still put on pull his weight and produce a great match. And this is what happened here. It was a fantastic match, hard-hitting affair. Both competitors were bloodied. Trick, I think his mouth busted and Ilya's nose were busted, and it was chef's kiss. And the match was won Ilya with a torpedo in the middle of Trick trying to hit his knee. So they were like, midair. Ilya just happened to connect, One, two, three for that win. But the talking point of the whole pay-per-view, the talking point of what's going to go forward is after the match. And NXT did their thing. They did that where they showed a copyright like right there somewhere. And they show like all rights reserved, blah 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 blah, blah. And and that usually signals the broadcast about to go off air. But you know, as soon as that was on there, that kind of went away. Carmelo Hayes attacked Trick Williams, you know, betrayed him. He took out his knee, which was being attacked on all night. He hit that, and then he took a steel chair to he legit took a steel chair to Trick Williams' knee until the chair bent. Sat down in it over Trick. The crowd was just raining out F you, Melo, all that kind of stuff. And then Melo walks out to close the night. And holy crap, the moment that everyone has been expecting to happen for months finally happened. They pulled the trigger. Melo has long been like accused of being jealous of Trick's rise to fame. You know, his superstardom, rocket, all that kind of stuff. And Melo always tried to deflect to other people. No, I'm not jealous. It's this person's fault. You think that person's fault. And finally he snapped. He pulled the trigger. He laid Trick out. And this is going to be like stamp it prediction spoiler for at least for me. This will be feud of the year. I have been looking forward to this. Melo is a fantastic heel. He's a great babyface too, but he's a fantastic heel. And Trick is the hottest babyface in NXT. You can almost make an argument that he will be, you know, babyface of the whole company when he gets his revenge on Trick. It was amazing. It was perfectly done, and those two have a feud that's going to blow the roof off anywhere they interact at moving forward. Ilya retains his title. Look for he could feud with Melo in the future, but look for like someone else, maybe depending on what happens with Trick and Melo, how slow burn they play that. Look for someone else to step up in the meantime for that. But yeah, that was Vengeance Day, and for me, that I gave that show a B-. The beginning and the ending, the Dusty Classic and the NXT Championship match saved it for me. Other than that, and the Dijak Gacy match is good. Although the women's tag match was alright, but if you take out the opening Dusty Classic and the main event, this honestly felt like it could have been a really good episode of their weekly show at NXT. I thought there was not much to stand out from that, but with the Dusty Classic being so hot, being so highly contested, and 4 great competitors, and with the NXT title match being between your biggest babyface and your best competitor, it brought everything up to a level. So I gave it a B-. You know what? I'm going to go to B. I'll go B. It was a B. You know, nothing offensive. It was still pretty good. It just wasn't their best. And so we go from that to the episode that was NXT this past Tuesday. Carmelo Hayes starts the show, comes out, tries to explain his actions, and all he says is "not yet," and then just walks off. Huge F you Melo chance to him during the whole thing. The Wolf Dogs are out next to celebrate their tag win, their Dusty tag win. And after a random tag match, the family comes out to stare down the Wolf Dogs. So I guess they're gonna start that off sooner than later. There is an NXT special event called like Roadblock, I think it is, in March, something like that. So they may do it there. And then Ilya comes out, calls out Carmelo Hayes for basically slandering his name this past couple months, trying to confuse Trick Williams, and he wants to beat Carmelo's ass. Instead, Dijak comes out, and then they start talking to each other, and then Dijak just hits direct contact Ilya with a right hand, and then they start brawling until they're broken up, and sets up the main event for the evening, which is Dijak versus Ilya. Later on in the show, Melo comes back out and finally explains himself. He said basically Trick forgot his place, that Melo is a star, Trick is just an afterthought. And now Trick is laying in the hospital with Booker T, who, if you don't know, Booker T, commentator for NXT, actually had to get a procedure done this past weekend. So thoughts and prayers to that. But yeah, a funny part in the middle of it is like in the middle of him explaining, Trick Williams' song played, and everyone thought, oh, Trick's going to get him, and then it was just Mello messing with the audience and laughing about it, that was good. That was a good moment. And Mello ends it by basically just calling Trick, you're nothing more than a hype man. Hopefully the Trick knee thing is just kayfabe and just delaying the revenge. So because when that happens, the roof is going to blow off the place, and it's going to be and I'm gonna be in my couch, oh my goodness, it's so called law. So we'll get there. Roxanne Perez beat Lola Vice in a continuation of them fighting from Vengeance Day. Where this goes later, who knows. And in the main event, Ilya beats the Dijak in an absolute physical, hard-hitting affair, which again, those two guys are known for being physical workers, so you expected just a fight. Ilya won because towards the end, Joe Gacy, who was hiding under the ring with a boxing glove on a stick, kind of just bopped Dijak, which helped Ilya take him down, get the win. After the match, Carmelo Hayes attacked Ilya. It set up what I assume for, again, that special NXT coming up soon, Roadblock, Hayes versus Ilya again for the NXT title. So that's gonna be a whole lot of fun. And yeah, that was your highlights for NXT this week. And let's move on to the final show of the week, SmackDown. So SmackDown opens up with Triple H with the two GMs, Nick Aldis and Pierce. Triple H is out there to talk about the press conference. He reiterates that Cody will face Roman in the main event, and then he makes several puns on The Rock's catchphrases about people overstepping their boundaries and abusing their authority. If you know Triple H's authority role in like the mid 2010s, you know how ironic that is. It's still funny to me, but it's like, come on, dude, really? But after that, Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce are there to announce that there will be a second Elimination Chamber match, and the winner of that will face Seth Rollins at Mania for World Heavyweight title. They announced the 12 competitors, 6 from Raw, 6 from SmackDown, and the first qualifying match takes place immediately afterwards with Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles. This brings out LA Knight on commentary because Knight and Styles have some beef going on, and after some Knight interference, Drew McIntyre pins AJ Styles 1-2-3 to qualify for the chamber match. Afterwards, there's a women's qualifying match between Michin and Bianca Belair, which Bianca Belair wins. So now the women's chamber match has 2 confirmed competitors with Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair. Paul Heyman later in the night tells Triple H that The Rock and Roman will be on SmackDown next week, kind of giving like a warning or something like that. Then later, Bayley comes out and talks about how much damage control at the starting damage control and how much it meant to her and all that kind of stuff. This brought out Dakota Kai, who said she was at the doctor's last week, why she wasn't there for the announcement and the subsequent fight. Bayley wants to know what side Dakota Kai's on, which brings out Io Sky and the Kabuki Warriors. And Dakota Kai leaves the ring when the Io and the Warriors surround the 3 sides, grabs a chair, looks like she's about to hit Bayley, but instead fends off the Kabuki Warriors and Io and stands in the ring with Bayley. So for right now, it looks like Dakota Kai is with Bayley, but we'll see how that goes. It can always turn on a dime. And we saw 6 weeks till Mania? 7? I don't know. Like I said, from Monday Night Raw, DIY won a qualifying to be able to face tonight Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. The winner of that faces Judgment Day at the Chamber for the tag titles. Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne won a great tag match, so now it'll be Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne versus Finn Balor and Damian Priest for the tag titles Elimination Chamber. So we do have another match confirmed for the Chamber. And in the main event, Randy Orton defeated Sami Zayn to qualify for the men's chamber match. So now the men's chamber match has 2 confirmed participants in Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre came out after the match to stare down Orton to end the show. So yeah, that was covering, you know, the shows that were this week, and let's talk about how all this is going to affect, you know, next week and on. So yeah, the Elimination Chamber card is starting to take shape. We have 4 confirmed matches. Then we have the 2 chamber matches. The women's, whoever wins that faces the women's world champion at Mania. Whoever wins the men's faces Seth Rollins for the world heavyweight title. We have Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate facing Finn Balor and Damian Priest at Judgment Day for the tag titles. And we have Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax for the women's world championship at Chamber. So yeah, 4 matches. I imagine 1 or 2 more might be added. Grayson Waller, who does a lot of times his talk show Grayson Waller Effect. He's from Australia, where the event's taking place, Perth, Australia Stadium. I imagine he's gonna have his talk show with somebody big. And then this is kind of a prediction. I do see Cody and Rock having like a thing going on, even if it's just like a talking segment one-on-one. At this moment, I don't believe Roman Reigns is being advertised for the event, but he could be a surprise. Triple H might make an appearance based on what's going on. But yeah, this chamber match, just chamber card, is coming up nicely. I do think it's going to be a great show. 1, because all the shows recently have been good. The PLEs have been good from the main roster side. And 2, with so much juice heading into WrestleMania, look for this to add to that. You know, if you weren't excited for Mania by now, 1, why? And 2, you watch this show. Now, I will warn you, since this show is taking place in Australia, the start time for Elimination Chamber is 5 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, not PM, 5 a.m. I live in Central, so this will be a 4 a.m. show for me. West Coast, it's like 2 a.m. so you just gotta stay up on that Friday. No big deal. But yeah, we'll lose some sleep over it, but it will be, I think, worth it. We'll have some fun. And like I said, I expect Triple H, Cody, The Rock, any combination of that to get involved moving forward, and to further solidify what is the hypeness, is that a word, of the main event scene or the WWE title scene for Mania. I expect Seth to be there. Now, he was involved in the press conference. I don't know if they move forward with him involved in that feud, but we'll see. Who knows? He could be involved as well. Either way, The Rock's back, which is going to get the casuals talking more about it. It's going to get people who haven't really watched the product in forever talking about it, like it did when The Rock came back last week. There are celebrities out there who don't know much about wrestling tweeting about it. There was hashtag We Want Cody taking over social media, and you know, you had people on Radio Row for the Super Bowl bringing stuff up about wrestling. Eyes are on it, interest is up, intrigue is up, and hopefully the WWE capitalizes on this and gives us a fantastic road to Mania and gives us an even better show. All right, and with that, this review preview is over. Longer one, but I had more to cover, especially with NXT Vengeance Day and the huge press conference that was. Hope you guys stuck around. Let me know what you think in the comments. You know, do you agree with Cody Roman main eventing? Do you think it should have been The Rock? And you know, what do you think happens this week coming forward? All right, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe. It really helps me out, and I will catch you guys in the next video. I'm Heartfelt. Peace.